Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, our Sambar is getting upgraded wheels and tires. We're going away from the factory 12-inch wheels and installing these 14-inch SSR Type Cs. I picked these wheels up used from Kruber Up Garage, aftermarket Japanese parts dealer in Japan. It's basically like a salvage yard, but mostly dealing in higher end forged wheels, exhaust, and also dealing in JDM parts. Bought quite a few JDM parts for Subarus in the past from them, as well as wheels and tires. I bought the Advan RG2s that are on my 95 Legacy wagon patches from them. And I believe I paid about $600 for these wheels alone, which some of you may think is pretty high. But considering that these SSR Type C wheels, brand new here in the States, if I recall correctly, are about $400 per wheel. So massive savings in buying forged wheels used from Japan and having them shipped to the US. As for tires, I went with an El Cheapo. I went with a set of Federals. These are a 165/65 R14. After mounting them and balancing them the other day on the wheels, I kind of wish that I'd gone with a 165/55 for a smaller side profile to the tire. These do look a little bit fat, but they're still pretty comparable in diameter and size to the 145 R12 6 tire we have on there, which I believe it's actually like a 145/80 or 85 side profile. But this is going to give us quite a bit wider tire, more contact with the road, and hopefully get the handling a little bit better, especially in rain and wind. I drove it the other day in rain and wind, and it was a little bit sketch driving this thing on the highway due to that small contact patch with the tire. So also with this being a forged wheel, they are extremely light. I don't believe we've added very much unsprung weight. Wheels alone, I can basically hang off of my pinky, but the tires do add quite a bit of weight to them. Don't have a scale handy to weigh the 12-inch aluminum wheel with tire compared to this forged wheel and tire, but they're probably going to be about the same, maybe a little bit lighter on this one. Probably not though, since it is a bigger tire. The tire is probably more of the weight than anything at this point. So that said, enough talk. Let's go ahead and jack up the Sambar, get these wheels off, and put our new wheels on. So in researching what aftermarket wheels I could run, specifically the fitment, I came into a lot of issues, mainly because there's not many of these stateside, and finding specifications for what diameter, width, and back spacing work on these was a little bit of a challenge. That's one of the main reasons why I settled with the wheels I did. They're a 14/5 with a plus 45 offset and 4/100 lug pattern. They fit really well. I was wanting to go possibly to a 15 if I could. I wasn't sure if I needed spacers or what would be needed to get a 15-inch wheel to fit. But in further research, it looks like a 15 will fit, as long as it's 15/5, 5.5, I believe, maximum. So I may change up the wheel and tire combination later on, going to a 15 with a smaller sidewall than these 14s. But for now, the 14 should give quite a bit of upgrade and handling and drivability compared to these 12-inch wheels, especially at highway speeds where such a very narrow tire is a little bit sketch. And I don't really believe that these tires are rated for that kind of speed or use, really. As it says here, DVS D01 for town cargo. So these are probably a low speed tire. They're probably not really rated for highway speed, mainly because these vehicles, the K cars in Japan and K trucks, do not really go highway speeds. Are more of a little runabout car for cities. Now the other day, if you saw on community post and on my Instagram, I already test fit the front wheel, but I did not at the time have the aftermarket lug nuts. So I did not install the wheels at that point. Plus I wanted to make a video for you guys, as boring as it may be watching me change out a set of wheels and tires. So looking at it, we have plenty of space around our brake caliper, brake lines. We have adequate room here. I can get my fingers between the strut and the wheel and tire. So no issues with fitment. We are good to go. These are a set of Gorilla lug nuts I picked up. Hopefully they will work. I've used them on many Subarus in the past. I use these with my Advan RG2 wheels on the Legacy. I've used them on my WRX in the past with a set of Rota wheels I had. I think they're Rota G-Force. Now these lugs, I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy with them. They kind of do protrude quite a bit with that with this wheel and tire combo. I did find a set on Amazon that were about half the size and open-ended. I may switch to those and keep these for another Subaru later down the line. Just because, like I said, they do protrude quite a bit, but it's not obnoxiously so. It's not like, you know, some big spike on the end, but I think they're about 1 inch. I believe the ones I saw online came to about here and were open-ended, more in line with the factory lug. So maybe switching these out later on. And there we can see just how tiny this tire is. I'll get a quick comparison. So we do get quite a bit more contact area this way, and it's only slightly taller. This wheel changed the speedometer, but since it's a kilometer speedometer, I'm going to use a GPS speedometer. Anyway, that's not really a big concern to me. One thing I have found about buying from Up Garage or Kruber used parts from Japan, they're normally very good quality used parts. These wheels, there's not much wrong with them. Several of them, the SSR sticker here is peeling, to be expected. Cheap and easy to remove that and install a new sticker for the wheel. But other than that, there's not really any curb rash or damage, and they're very good about documenting in the ads any damage that the wheel has and giving you pictures of that damage. This set, the only thing I noticed was on the wheel we just put on the left front, there was a little bit of clear coat peeling around one of the lug holes, but other than that, haven't really found any issues. They're straight and true, and they all balanced out with minimal weight, and really nice looking set of used wheels. Especially the great price I got on them compared to buying a new set. So our fronts are on. As I said, we had no clearance issues at all. I did not check the rears, but I doubt we'll have any clearance issues with the rears. The fronts were my main concern, just with the steering and the struts. So rears ought to go on fairly simple with no issue. Famous last words. Hopefully I did not just jinx myself. And looks like we are going to gain just a slight bit of ground clearance with the new wheels and tires as well. Let's see, looks like we are good on our rears as well. I can get my whole hand around the wheel. Not seeing any contact with the shock or spring or control arm, trailing arm, so good on that fitment as well. A little odd having that gigantic axle spindle nut there sticking out past the wheel, but it is what it is. Might take it off and hit it and the drum with some flat black Rust-Oleum just to make it look a little cleaner. Of course, we'll be properly torquing these lug nuts once we get all the wheels on and get back on the ground. Now we just need to torque everything to spec and we're done with this install. All right guys, I'm not exactly sure what the lug nut torque specification is for the Sambar. So we're gonna use the tried and true Subaru normal of 120 Newton meters or right at 89, 90 foot-pounds of torque. Should be plenty adequate. And there we are, all of our lugs are torqued to 120 Newton meters. And we're good to go. Our wheel and tire installation is complete. Now all we need to do is go for a test drive and see how it handles on these new wheels and tires. All right guys, that'll do it for the day's video. I know it was pretty short. All we did was put wheels and tires on the Sambar, but rest assured there's plenty more Sambar content to come. I need to order the timing belt water pump kit, those seals and gaskets we talked about in the inspection video, and you know, the tune-up kit for the ignition system, spark plugs, wires, distributor cap, rotor button. You know, we got a lot of work ahead, a lot of content coming on the Sambar. Also gonna still have more tool content and more content on US spec Subaru vehicles to come, so stay tuned for that as well. Do plan to do a tool giveaway here soon, not exactly sure when, but I do have some Milwaukee M18 power tools I'm getting ready to give away, so be sure to look on Instagram at Mr. Subaru 1387, and on this YouTube channel, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a video contest, Instagram contest, or both, so be sure to keep watch for that. It's probably gonna come in the next month. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.